Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is August 2nd, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery here for British Columbia, Washington, Oregon. You can see we've got some smoke out there. We've got some mid-level clouds moving across the region right now as well. Made for a nice sunrise out there this morning. And we'll be looking at what's coming here because we got some monsoon moisture coming up from the south, and we're going to be dealing with some pretty warm days here, especially today for places east of the Cascades, but warming up quite nicely west as well. If we take a wider look at things, you can see Carlota down here across some of the eastern Pacific Ocean, and you can see that monsoon moisture now starting to move into California and eventually spreading up across Oregon and Washington here as we go through the next couple of days. A lot of this activity will stay Cascades east, but I'll show you a little bit of something interesting here coming up over the next few days as well. Now, if we take a look here, I clicked on Diamond Lake here, and if we click on this one right here, you can see it will bring you to the weather station. It builds its own forecast for the individual locations. You click on this icon button here, and then you can click on things like temperature and whatnot, and you can back out and you can kind of see how it's been graphing the last few days. And the red line is dew point temperature. Always fun to watch the weather when you've got a weather system attached to your place of residence, and this thing has a lightning detection system with it as well. But highly recommend this weather station. Now, taking a look at what's coming for today, they do have that thunderstorm potential across the Cascades of Washington, Oregon. Does include Pendleton, and Spokane right now does not hit Medford, Eugene, Portland, or Seattle, at least for right now. So if we take a look at tomorrow, something similar does include Medford, Pendleton, and Spokane yet again. And then we go day 3. And you notice how it kind of includes some of western Washington. That would include western British Columbia here as well. Weak little wave off the coastline here might help to trigger a couple of thunderstorms here. We'll be watching that one closely. Looking at day 1, potential for isolated dry thunderstorms across Washington, Oregon, down into Northern California. So we have to worry about the fire starts here as we go through today. And tomorrow you can see Oregon, portions of Idaho, Montana, and then day 3, day 4, and day 5 does include Spokane there as well. So we got a few days to go before we can get those thunderstorms rolling out of here. Now taking a look at the lightning risk here for Friday through Sunday. This is Medford National Weather Service. This does include Northern California, some of Southern Oregon, and yeah, this is for Saturday as well. A lot of 97 included in that, and then Sunday kind of pushing off to the north and east a little bit there. So Pendleton National Weather Service talking about the hot temperatures and the isolated thunderstorms as well. So you can kind of see 20 to 30% chance there. And of course, you guys know how to beat the heat. If you're out and about, take the breaks when you're in the afternoon hours and stay hydrated. So wider look at what is going on here. This is last night's European run. There's that tropical system there across the Pacific Ocean. Hawaiian Islands, bottom left. There's Washington, Oregon. You can see the monsoon moisture here across California and Nevada. If I put that in motion, you'll see it make its way up across Oregon and Washington as we go through the weekend coming up here. Then we get this weak troughing right off the coastline here, and so that's what the SPC was going to point at as we go through the day Sunday. Maybe a thunderstorm will kick off here. We'll see how that goes, but it's not a very strong signal right now, but you can kind of see you're getting a little bit of lift from that system out here across the Pacific Northwest, and then you see this little weak troughing kind of move through, and we have a big ridge building up into British Columbia and towards the Northwest Territories there as well, and we'll see just how much we're either going to warm up or cool off in that. We'll look at the national blend of models here as we go as well. You can see some ridging still hanging around, kind of a Rex block here. And I'll show you what a Rex block is here in a moment as well. So take a look at composite reflectivity. This is the high resolution rapid refresh. This is what the Doppler may look like here over the next 48 hours. As we go through tonight, it starts to show some of this precipitation coming up north across the Oregon Cascades and on in towards Washington here as we go through Saturday evening. Now I also want to back up and show you this here really quick. Let's go to lightning flash density potential and start all over again. And you'll see as we go on in through tonight and on in through tomorrow morning, that thunderstorm potential here moving across Oregon, eastern Oregon, potential into eastern Washington, Idaho Panhandle also. So that would be wrapping up about Sunday morning there. If we look at the not the high resolution, but the European model, and we're going to scroll through 24-hour precipitation running total. You can see some of this activity, not a lot of precipitation associated with these storms. And again, that's kind of the threat because these thunderstorms aren't producing a lot of precipitation. They don't really squelch or extinguish the fires that they can cause with their lightning strikes. So that is the concern over the next few days. Now looking at the North American model, high resolution, let's update this because this is running and it's coming hot off the presses here. Put this into motion. You can see this monsoon moisture riding back up into the Pacific Northwest there. It doesn't really get into Western Washington, and then we scroll off in towards, what is this, about Saturday afternoon here, and you can kind of see it still over the region there, but just a higher resolution look at things there. Now looking at the European wider view of things, there's California, Washington, there's British Columbia and Alaska here. You can see the troughing out over the Pacific Ocean, strong ridge across the Intermountain West, and then we get this weak little system here. Then you can see this ridge really built up into the Northwest Territories and the Yukon, and this would be known as what's kind of called a Rex block here. As you can see the ridge to the north here of this trough across central Canada. So impress all your friends with that meteorological knowledge. Now, taking a look at the National Weather models, this is for today, 87 degrees, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, staying fairly warm here. Then we get this weak system right off the coastline there. Will cool us down a little bit, bring some onshore flow, but it could bring a couple showers, especially for the higher terrain. Watching this one closely. We're going to dive into this a little bit more detail tomorrow. We're going to get some of the higher resolution models starting to pick up on this system here shortly as well. Now, taking a look at the National Weather models, this is a wider view of things. This is for today. You can see the valleys of British Columbia really warming up. You can see 100 degrees there. Look at eastern Washington, 107 for some locations, Tri-Cities 107, and look out across southeast Washington towards the Idaho border, 111 degrees. Very warm today. Some 90 showing up for the Willamette Valley. You're starting to get up towards 90 for Seattle potentially today. A little bit of a cool off tomorrow, but then we bounce right back here as we go through Sunday. Still some hundreds out there east. And again, still quite warm across British Columbia. Cool down a little bit for British Columbia there Monday. There's Tuesday, dropping the temperatures down a hair as we go through the early portion of next week with this weak system off the coastline. 6 to 10 day above average signal for some of the West Coast. Take this with a grain of salt right now. And this was issued yesterday. And also this above average signal is going to be kind of hit and miss as well. Now, looking at the smoke, this is vertically integrated smoke. So if you're out there trying to view the Blue Angels and whatnot, let's see. Let's scroll ahead. So we're about there's about 3 o'clock, 3:30. That's about when that show is supposed to start. I was hoping Mount Rainier would be a little bit more clear, but we're going to have some haze in the atmosphere here because of some of that smoke. So you're not going to get that crystal clear Mount Rainier view here. But it does show some of this trying to move off as we go through the later morning and afternoon hours. So maybe it'll clear up just a hair. And then let's back up actually to the 12Z run so we can go out a little bit farther as well. And then we scroll on in through Saturday. Do we have any hope? It's not too bad looking there. Maybe we'll get a better shot of it as we go through the day tomorrow out there. I'm going to be shooting some Blue Angel stuff, but you can see a lot of other areas dealing with quite a bit of smoke, including the Oregon Cascades, eastern portions as well. You can see the Retreat Fire still producing a lot of smoke, and as that drifts off to the north and east as we go through Sunday morning, shown there. Now, looking at the Tri-Cities, check it out. You can see some of the smoke is at the surface, no doubt. You got plenty of it aloft as well as we go all the way in through Sunday morning. Again, this is covering the next 48 hours. Bend, not quite as bad as what's showing up here, but you can still see a fair amount aloft, and some of that will be at the surface, no doubt. You guys have been smelling that smoke for a while now. Portland, you can see the smoke mainly is aloft here. Again, this is the next 48 hours. Seattle, something similar there as well. Again, not really smelling smoke at the surface here as of right now. This is issued yesterday, and we're going to have the thunderstorm threat that's going to move up and across the region here over the next few days. So this might get an increased coverage here for today when they put the new data out. This is for yesterday. I've been updating that, trying to see if it will update, but nope, they don't have the Friday one out just quite yet. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to get out there and check it out here over the next few days and do a Blue Angel video like I do every single year. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, it is free to click that subscribe button down at the bottom, just below the video here. If you're looking at a desktop or your smartphone, there should be that subscribe button. Click like. Also, if you want to monetarily support the channel, click that join button down below as well. But otherwise, hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.